Thank you for joining Wars of the Roses. And this is part 7 in the Hiram Abiff series, Hiram Abiff, a solar deity. Mythically, Hiram is the sun, a symbol of the Logos. Mystically, he is the perfect initiate, the Grand Master. The myth was not intended to add to the facts of history, but as D. Winter points out, to illustrate a philosophical or religious truth. The Hiram legend and the master's degree are derived from the mysteries. They are the latest expression of the old sun myth and the ancient rite. The Atlanteans of old worshipped the rising sun, but also how the modern Mason symbolizes this sun as Hiram, the highborn, who, when he rises to the top of the temple, places a golden stone upon it and rises to life all things in man. In an astronomical connection, Hiram is the representative of the sun, the symbol of his apparent progress, which, appearing at the south gate, so to speak, is smote downward and more downward as he advances toward the west, which passing, he is immediately vanquished and put to death by darkness, represented in following the same allegory by the spirit of evil. But returning, he rises again, conqueror and resurrected. This is why it is said a master mason is traveling in the east to find the source of illumination. Kurum, therefore, improperly called Hiram, is Kura-Am, the same as Hera, Hermes, and Hercules, the personification of light and the sun, the mediator, redeemer, and savior. It is merely absurd to add the word Abiff or Abiff as part of the name of the architect. Abin, which we read Abiff, means of my fathers, formerly one of my father's servants or slave. The later Jewish high priest constructed the allegory of Solomon's temple, a building which never had a real existence, any more than had King Solomon himself, who is simply and as much a solar myth as the still later Hiram Abiff of the Masons, as Ragan has well demonstrated. Thus, if the measurements of this allegorical temple, the symbol of the cycle of initiation, coincide with those of the Great Pyramid, it is due to the fact that the former were derived from the latter through the tabernacle of Moses. In Masonry, the sun has many symbols. One expression of the solar energy is Solomon, whose name Sol, An, is the name for the supreme light in 3 different languages. Hiram Abiff, the Chiram or Hiram of the Chaldeans, is also a solar deity, and the story of his attack and murder by the ruffians with its solar interpretation. Whereas Chiram represents the active physical light of the sun, Solomon signifies its invisible but all-powerful spiritual and intelligent effulgency. From the cosmic angle of view, we note again that Solomon's temple is the solar universe, and Hiram Abiff, the Grand Master, is the sun which travels around the 12 signs of the Zodiac. George F. Ford says that the 12 companions of Master Hiram correspond unquestionably to the 12 zodiacal signs, or the 12 months of the year. The groundwork of this tradition is a fragment of ancient natural religion, common to both Oriental and European nations, or more properly, was derived from identical sources. The treacherous craftsmen of Hiram the Good are the 3 winter months which slew him. He is the sun surviving during the 11 consecutive months, but subjected to the irresistible power of the 3 ruffians, the winter months. In the 12th and last month, that luminary Hiram the Good, the beauteous, the bright, the sun god, is extinguished. in the Semitic story of the year, common to all. In closely related forms, the marriage of male and female principles occurred annually at the awakening of vegetation and the mating season of the animal kingdom. Then Horus, the spirit of fertility, represented by the position of the sun in the zodiacal sign of the ram, called Ammon, united with the virgin nature, personified by the position of the earth in the sign of Virgo, goddess of the grain, holding in her hand the sheaf of wheat, called by the Hebrews Shibboleth, in the midst of which glistens the brilliant star named Abiff, now termed Spica Virginis, which gave its name to the month of the Passover. The name Horus Ammon is the same as Purim and Cha-Ram, translated Hiram among the Phoenicians. These are Alexandrian coins of the Caesars, showing Hermes on the ram, entering the year as Harpocrates, and leaving it for the underworld as Serapis, later forms of Horus and Osiris. We often hear the expression riding the goat or climbing the grease pole. This is of symbolic import to those who have eyes to see. For when man masters his lower animal nature, he can say honestly that he is riding the goat. And if he cannot ride the goat, he cannot enter the temple of initiation. The grease pole, which he must climb, refers undoubtedly to the spinal column. And it is only when the consciousness of man climbs up this column into the brain that he can take the degrees of Freemasonry. Within the name itself, Hiram Abiff, can be found Hiram above, which might be referring to the martyred son being discovered by Eris the ram. This could give us an insight to the astronomical key behind Hiram riding the goat. This concludes part 7 of the Hiram Abiff series. In the prior parts, there was much more information covered on this subject, which is in the playlist below. I will have part 8 out as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.